Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Katarina. I film videos about project panning, cruelty-free and vegan beauty, and I'm just trying to enjoy my own makeup collection here on my channel. I am really excited about today's video. This is going to be my first update of my Those Eyeshadows of this year, and I have hit some pan, so I'm really excited to share that with you. Those Eyeshadows is originally created by Alexandra Sjösten, so I will link her video down below. But a lot of people are doing it and there are different variations how to do it. Most of the people will randomize eyeshadows from their entire collection that they will try to hit pan on. Then some people randomize the eyeshadow palette from their collection and then they pick the shade that they want to work on and try to hit pan on. What I am doing is that I have picked two eyeshadow palettes from my collection that I am planning on panning later. So I have picked my next year's Pantat palette, the BH Cosmetics Modern Matte Eyeshadow palette, and also the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, that is my oldest palette and that I might pan after the BH Cosmetics one. We'll see. But I will randomize eyeshadows from these palettes that I will try to hit pan on, because especially the Chocolate Bar palette, it is old. It should look way more loved and used what it does look at the moment. So yeah, the idea in this project is to randomize and then hit pan. So I am working on two eyeshadows from each of these palettes at once, and my goal is to hit pan, or from the BH Cosmetics palette I can roll the eyeshadow out after 15 uses if I don't have pan. And from the Too Faced Chocolate Bar eyeshadow palette I can roll the eyeshadow out after 30 uses if I don't have pan. I have hit one pan on both of these palettes. I honestly didn't expect to do so well, but I will say that both of these pans were really close. Let's start with the BH Cosmetics Modern Matte Eyeshadow palette. The shade that I was working on and did hit pan on is this shade over here. In the pan it looks pretty neutral, but in fact it translates quite peachy or quite corally on the eyes. Today I am wearing this in my crease and as a transition shade, and I do really like it, but for me it is definitely more of a colorful eyeshadow than a neutral eyeshadow. And it didn't take many uses at all to hit pan on this one. It only took 4 uses. And after that I have worn this maybe once or twice, today being one of the times. The BH Cosmetics matte eyeshadow formula is quite powdery, especially in this palette. So it's not difficult formula at all to hit pan on, but I'm still surprised that it didn't take more than 4 uses. But I guess it's also because this kind of shade I do use with a blending brush. Blending brush I do place to the pan so that it kind of like breaks the eyeshadow a little bit when flat brush I swipe the eyeshadow with. So yeah. There is pan now, I'm really happy, so we will be rolling in a new shade to replace that. The another shade that I am working on from this palette is this eyeshadow here. And this one I used only once during the past month. During the past month I was really focused on panning some warmer eyeshadows like oranges and stuff like that. So this one wasn't something that goes with those tones. I do want to focus on it during the next month. I know I will be focusing on some eyeshadows that this one will go perfectly with. I will also be doing some more pinky makeup looks, and even though this is not even close being a pink, this might work as a transition shade with looks like that. This is like a really light brown with some plummy undertones. So yeah, I need to play with the eyeshadow and find a way to use it. And I don't think it's impossible to hit pan on this one by the next update. It depends of course how often I use it, but this formula is powdery, these pans are shallow, so I actually might be able to hit pan on this eyeshadow by the next update. We'll see. Okay, then let's move on to the Too Faced Chocolate Bar eyeshadow palette. This one is also in my 30 by 30 project pan, so my official goal is to hit pan on all of these eyeshadows by my 30th birthday, and that is June 2nd, 2022. So I do have almost 2 years time, and before this project I had already hit pan on Marzipan, and now I have one new pan here. So I did hit pan on the said semi-sweet over here. I had pretty good dip in this eyeshadow before this project, and it only took 6 uses for me to hit pan on this one. This one I have been using in a lot of just really basic matte eyeshadow looks where I do have like a light cream lid color going on and a brown crease. I do really love that kind of look, especially on everyday basis with a bolder lip color like with a red lipstick. So that is how I have been using this eyeshadow, and in other neutral looks too. And yeah, I'm happy to have pan there. To be honest, I'm not surprised that I hit pan. These pans are quite deep, but the dent that I had was quite big because this is such a basic color. Another eyeshadow from this palette that I am working on is Cherry Coral over here. There is some wear in this shade from before, but I have only worn this once after the intro, and that is today. I do have this one in my outer V, and by the way, I do really love this look. I tried to do this kind of like peachy, corally, plummy type of look. I actually saw this look on Pinterest and I wanted to create something similar, so I will put the picture here so you can see. I often, by the way, find makeup inspiration on Pinterest. If you are into Pinterest, I can link my Pinterest to my social medias. I do have a lot of stuff in Pinterest, like I do have some makeup inspiration pictures, I do have like outfit inspiration, some home inspiration, some workout inspiration. Yeah, I can link it down below. I don't know why I have not realized it before, but yeah, that is where I often go to find makeup inspiration, especially when I'm working on some more colorful eyeshadows and I'm kind of like in a rut and don't know what to do. But yeah, this one I have only worn once. So yeah, with this eyeshadow the pan is not even close yet, and it will take months until I hit pan. That being said, I will start wearing it more from now on, but we are still so far away from the pan. Okay, so now for the most exciting part of this video, we will be randomizing from both of the palettes one new eyeshadow to work on. Let's start with the BH Cosmetics Modern Mattes eyeshadow palette. I have hit 9 pans in this palette, and there is one eyeshadow that is already in this project. So because of that, I do have in my pretty random numbers from 1 through 18, because I do have 18 eligible eyeshadows right now in this palette. So yeah, let's see what we get. I'm sure we get one of the pinks and I don't want to get them, but I'm sure that is what will happen, especially now since I said it. Number 6. Okay, so I'm just going to skip the eyeshadows with pan on them and also this that I'm working on already. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I actually need to swatch this before I say anything. It is more neutral in my opinion than the one that I had in this project before. The one that I had before was way more corally, it had more pink in it. This one, well, I don't still think that it's neutral, it's quite peachy. It's quite peachy, but it doesn't have that pink to it. And yeah, I'm excited. It's a color that will probably be pretty easy for me to hit pan on, considering the formula, that it's really soft and powdery. And this one will go beautifully as transition shade with my pan that palette and looks that I'm creating from that. Really excited about this eyeshadow, and there you can see the swatch of the brown, the cool toned brown. It's almost like a light mauve. It's just a little bit confusing since it is in the middle of the browns. But yeah, really happy with my pick. I'm really glad I didn't get the pinks. I know I will be working on the shade Love Letter from my Panda palette next month, but you know, that's all the pink I want right now. Right now I'm not ready for more yet. And to be honest, I don't think it's impossible at all to hit pan on this eyeshadow by the next update. There is some wear in the eyeshadow, so if I use it as transition shade and as crease color, it is possible to hit pan. So we'll see if that happens. Then let's pick an eyeshadow from the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette that I will be working on. So I have hit 2 pans already, plus there is 2 shades that this year I do not want to work on because I'm working on similar things in my panning solitaire, and those are the highlight shades, so the large ones. Also, there is 1 eyeshadow in this palette that I am already working on in this project, so there are 5 eyeshadows that are not eligible right now, so that means that there is 11 shades that are eligible, so I will put from 1 through 11 to my pretty random app. Okay, so let's randomize. We got number 5. So I'm just going to skip the white chocolate because that one is not eligible. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Salted caramel. How interesting. This one is probably the easiest of these eyeshadows for me to hit pan on, because there is pretty good dip there and I don't think it's going to be too many uses. That being said, it's going to be quite similar to the eyeshadow I picked before from the BH Cosmetics palette. I do think salted caramel is still going to be more neutral, but it's still like a really warm transition shade. I'm also working on warm transition shades in my Pantat palette, in my panning solitaire, and now that I keep selecting these, the progress on those projects will suffer a little bit, but it is what it is. This one is still going to be fairly easy eyeshadow to hit pan on. So there is salted caramel. It is similar to the BH Cosmetics shade, but more neutral. And then here is cherry cordial. I think it does translate more as a burgundy shade on my eyes, but as swatching it, it just looks like brown with maybe some plumness to it. But yeah, this is my color story that I will be working on. All matte again as it was last month, but I'm still working on so many other shimmers in other projects that it's not a problem at all. But yeah, I think the colors go beautifully together, and the most important thing is that they do go with eyeshadows that I am panning in my other projects, because in the end of the day my Pantat palette is my main project pan when it comes to panning eyeshadows, and I think these will go with my Pantat palette beautifully. But that was everything for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. By the next update I will try to hit pan on the eyeshadows from the BH Cosmetics palette. With the Too Faced one, I think it might be doable with the salted caramel, but I want to focus on the BH Cosmetics eyeshadow first, just because it's more colorful and we are still in summer. But yeah, that's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching this video and see you in my next one. Bye bye!